Yeah, final leg one.
We're all off into the first corner, so first three made good starts. It's all fairly as you were as we go around the first few corners. And hold there, Neil Craig. Nice, neat, tidy. First time over the jump section, all nice and clean. And we go down the straight for the first time. So Mr. Craig, ballistically fast down there. Pulls out a little bit from Lee Martin. And it's all very close. Craig, Martin, Yardy, Collinson, Cockerell, and Ellis. And there's a bit of a gap then back to Richie Thorne, who's made up a few places already. So as they go over the jump section again onto the straight, Lee Martin's a little bit closer, but Craig falls out down the straight. Got loads of horses in that car. Really gets the hammer down and pulls some gaps. And it's still very close. So one little touch of a corner to make all the difference. So it's Craig, Martin, Yardy, Collinson, Ellis, Stafford in there, and they are definitely pulling away from the rest of the field, which is headed by Richie Thorne down the straight. Lee Martin a little closer now as they come down from the end of the straight. Round past me, and there's a little gap opening up between Yardy and Collinson. So these three, Yardy gets slightly out of shape, but it's all fairly static. They go over the jump section again. Yardy just drops back slightly and gets it out of shape, and then back on his wheels, and he's crashed it. Leader's bending as he goes round onto the straight. So Lee Martin now takes the lead from Yardy, from Neil Craig and Collinson in close proximity of Neil Craig's gearbox. And there's a fight for second, third and fourth, and Lee Martin now has lots of breathing space. So Yardy in second, with Neil Craig breathing down to the back of his neck as they go over the jump section again. Craig Collinson is just behind Mr. Craig as well, but Lee Martin now has an even bigger gap. He's pulling away from Yardy. What could Neil Craig do? Can he get past Yardy? Can he close the gap on Lee Martin? Could have just gifted Lee Martin the first leg with a slight mistake going onto the straight. Clips the corner, bends it off. And definitely Lee Martin is pulling away. Yardy though is not going to let any gap. Oh, they've just crashed and Yardy's passing. Yardy's on his route. Craig Collinson had to look around the outside of Neil Craig. So Craig Collinson then definitely benefiting from the mistakes from the front two drivers, but Lee Martin is pulling away. So Craig Collinson then in third on the back of Neil Craig. Can he do anything? Can he get a second place? He's driving very nicely indeed. Lee Martin has checked out. He's got a good straight in a bit between him and Neil Craig. Oh, and Collinson's gone off onto that beginning of the straight. That's a dodgy little area up there. I don't know so why. I think they're pushing it over the hump, desperately trying to get a bit extra speed coming onto the straight. So Craig then into second. Yardy now has moved back up into third. It's Craig Collinson fourth, and it's still Ellis Stafford in fifth, with Richie Thorne breathing down his neck. But as they come round past race control, Lee Martin definitely pulled out, got a good lead, but Neil Craig is desperately trying to close the gap. And we've still got, we've got a minute 20 to go. So it's not over yet, that's for sure. Neil Craig then coming onto the straight. Lee Martin still on his merry way. Neat, tidy, doesn't have to do a lot now, just has to keep going. Craig has all the work to do. He's the one that's got to push. Mr. Yardy as well. Hold a little bit of distance between himself and Craig Collinson. So it's Martin, Craig, Yardy, Collinson, and Ellis Stafford been in fifth place from the start, going around quite nicely, running his own race. And there goes Craig past me now, so he's not really closing. So Lee Martin now starting to close on some back markers. Never know, that could interfere. They've only got to get out of shape on a jump and it could interfere with Lee Martin's race, but he will take as much care as possible as he goes round them. And Neil Craig is absolutely flying, desperately trying to close the gap. And there's the back marker, and there's the mistake, and there's the gap that's closed. driver, but now Neil Cragg has... Oh, and it's going to go through to the last lap. Here they come then, round the last corner. There's not enough time to make the difference. Oh, Craggy goes for some big air. Do or die move.
Air final, leg 2.
So nice clean start from everyone. And Mr. Cragg leads us round then. Lee Martin sitting nicely behind. They're all in position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As they go over the jump section for the first time. All take it nicely. Coming onto the straight. He might has a look at the inside, but Neil Cragg has lots of power. Has him under control down the straight. But they come round past race control. And Craig Collison under pressure from Tom Cockrell and Ennis Stafford. So Cragg from Martin, from Yardy, from Collison, from Cockrell, from Stafford. And they all head to the jump section. Oh, and he gets very close as they go onto the straight. Lee Martin just gets onto the back end of Cragg's car as they go over the humps. And the top three are just pulling away very slightly from Collinson, but it's not much. And Collinson's got a bit of a breathing space for himself and Tom Cockrell. And Ellis is all over the back of Tom Cockrell. And Ellis parks it and drops back to last place. So onto the straight we go. It's Cragg from Martin, from Yardy. They're just very slightly dropping Collinson, but it's hardly anything. And he's dropping the rest of the field. So these four are pulled away from everybody else. I think that is McGee in fifth, but 1 and 2 are definitely put away from Yardy, and Yardy drops back into the clutches of Collinson, but down the straight they go. Cragg from Martin, over the kicker. Come round past him now, they're definitely leaving Tom Yardy, and Tom Yardy's getting under pressure from Craig Collinson. And then leaving everybody else behind. These four showing everybody else how to do it. Danny McGee, car 7 is the one in fifth. But they go round now. Lee Martin getting closer as he goes onto the straight. Look, Cragg has so much speed and power on that straight. It just pulls the gap again. They come round now. All holding station. Cragg from Martin. From Yardy, from Collinson, and they're all pulling away. And who's that? Is that Jefferson? He's up into fifth. But these four are away. So, a bit more of a gap that time. Cragg from Martin. Yardy and Collinson still just sitting there, waiting for anything to happen up the front. And wow, this time's gone. We're about half race distance, in fact, just 2 minutes to go. So they're going on to the straight. Can Lee Martin do anything? Can he put any pressure on Neil Cragg? It's just that little bit too much of a gap for Cragg to be under too much pressure, but he can't afford a single slip up. Lee Martin desperately trying to close and put some pressure, force Cragg into an error as they go through the jump section now. Takes it both nicely, takes a little bit of a wider line as Lee Martin tries to swoop in and carry more speed over the tabletop. He looks to be a little bit closer this time round. They come round past me. Lee Martin then, desperately trying to close the gap. He definitely is a little bit closer. Is he close enough though to force an error from Neil Cragg? They come round to the jump section again. Lee Martin takes that slightly wide. No, he goes straighter at it. Definitely goes straighter at it. And he's a bit closer again. But Neil Cragg just has that extra bit of speed or power. Gets to hammer down that little bit quicker, go down the straight. But definitely Lee Martin then starting to make the move. He's closing the gap. He's closing it. He's trying to put some pressure. Just touch the hose slightly. Yardy then on his own in third. But what can happen? Can Lee Martin make anything happen? If not, it's all going to go down to the third leg. G-Final was on next. We've got 45 seconds to go. 45 seconds for Lee Martin to make the difference. If he can get through, he's won himself the meeting. But Neil Cragg wants to take it to the final leg. Oh, and Cragg gets out of shape. Lee Martin, can he get the run on him? Down the straight? No, he can't. There's still only a few seconds to go, so they're going to get through for another lap. We got 19 seconds. So, Craig Martin, Lee Martin trying everything he can, putting him under intense pressure. Will Craig crack? I very much doubt it, but you do not know as they go over the jump section. Lee Martin's got to try something. I don't think they're going to get through for another lap. Oh, no, they're not. So this is the race to the line. What can they do? Looks like it's going to go down to the last leg. It is indeed. Crack from Martin, from Yardy.
Year final leg 3.
And it looks like a good steady start from everyone. So, as we've been in the last 2 legs, it's Mr. Craig leading us round from Lee Martin, from Yardy, from Collinson. So, over the jump section they go. Who's going to crack first? Lee Martin, has he done anything to his car? Getting more pace out of it to really put Neil under pressure? These two already pulled a little gap on Yardy. Crack. Pinpoint accuracy from both these guys as they come around the jump section. Oh, he just catches a hose slightly. Allows Lee Martin just to catch a little bit, and he's very close going onto the straight now. But, oh, Craig has so much speed in that car, and he just hangs on for dear life as he goes around the end of the straight. And Yardy is in close attendance, so is Collinson, so is Cockrell. So these guys have just pulled away slightly from the rest of the field as they go over the jump section again. So it's 1, 2, oh, Craig touches Martin. Martin has the lead though. He gets out of shape with Neil Craig over the jump little rumbles and hit the hose. But Martin has it all. Craig gets out of shape again, but manages to hold his position in second. That was crucial. If he was going to try and win today, he could not allow Yardy to get track position and get ahead of him. So, it is Lee Martin from Craig, from Yardy, from Collinson, from Cockrell, as they all go down onto the straight now. But Lee Martin has about half a straight. Lee Martin pings it at the end of the straight. Who would have thought it? How could it think he'd get it so wrong at the end of the straight? Oh my God. And now, Neil Craig gets back through. He literally nearly gifted Lee Martin the win today, but no, he made an error, so this could really go down to the wire. And Yardy's in there as well, and he's not going to hold back from trying to win this final either. So, they go down the straight. Craig, from Martin, from Yardy, from Collinson. They come round past me. Lee Martin had the lead, that's what he wanted. It's all he needed to do, and he just lost it again. So Craig, under pressure, Lee Martin's desperately pushing it. Looks like Lee Martin's definitely got a bit quicker car this time round. Definitely going very nicely. Holding the car very nicely through the infield. Here comes Neil Craig then. Over the humpback. Brings the car nearly to a halt over that humpback to get good drive on the downslope. Over the rumbles. And Yardy's sitting there, putting Lee Martin under pressure. This is not what he wanted. It wasn't Yardy. They just wanted a 2-horse race, but Yardy's not going to go away. He wants to take a win of the leg. And why not? He's been going brilliant all day, and so is Collinson. So they're flying round. And they've got 2 minutes to go. Lee Martin then, sitting as close as he's there to the back of Neil Craig. Associated car, has a little look round the inside, has a wide line, trying to do something different round the tabletop. He goes down the straight, but still, Neil Craig always gets that little bit of boost at the beginning of the straight, gets away, and Martin can't do anything about it. And we've got 1:30 to go, and Lee Martin is as close as he's been for the whole final. Up the back of Craig's gearbox, takes a lovely line over the jump section, tries to carry more speed over the humps. Can he do anything? Puts the power down, but still Craig always has that little bit of a gap, that little bit of a cushion as they come round. It's going to take a touch of a hose, a slight bad landing, just to put the car out of shape before this is going to change. But 1 minute to go then. Lee Martin holding, pushing. Can he make Neil Craig make a mistake? But as it stands, Craig's going to take the lead in. He's in the lead. There is seconds to go. Only a couple of laps. push him? Can he make a mistake? Can he nip up and inside? Can he go around the outside? They're going over the jump section again. He gets close as they get onto the start of the jump section. He really gets close over the tabletop. He gets even closer down the straight. Can he push? He's really got to just hope and pray that Neil Cragg touches a host. But Cragg, he's in where he wants to be. He's in the lead. As it stands, he's going to take the win of the national at Torch if he stays where he is. There's only a few seconds to go. We've got 4 seconds. This is going to be it. The race to the line. They come down the straight now. Neil Cragg's just got to get around the kicker. He's just got to get over the line. And he does. Neil Cragg takes the win of the third leg. That wins him the meeting. Lee Martin in close attendance behind. And Tom Yardy takes third. Great racing, guys. Thank you very much.
B final.
And we're away. A bit more of a positive start from the pole man this time than the last final, but they are away. So 1, 2, 3, up and running. So Steve Brown takes a really tight line over them rumbles, but it's just to get it back on track. So Richard Lowe then in hot pursuit of Steve Brown as they come round for the first time. James Hellywell. Oh, Brown's over. Hellywell's through. Jack Hurst, sorry. Jack Neal is through. So it is Lowe from Hellywell. From Neal, and Brown dropped back to 4 as they head up to the straight for the second time. Here they go. Richard Lowe comes round. From Hellywell, from Neal, from Brown, and looks like Richard Barton's up there as well.
Come on, Rich.
Car number 8. Oh, there's a bit of bumping and barging. And what's happening there? Brown's trying to push his way through. Can't find a gap. Jack Neal holding station. There's no way through there. And it's very close. But Jack Neal gets around the outside of Hellywell on the jump section. So there he comes down the straight now. Richard Lowe then away and gone in the lead. But Jack Neal from Hellywell, from Brown, and Richard Barton putting them under pressure. There's a good train for second, third, fourth, and fifth. So Jack Neal heads it from Hellywell as they go over the jump section again. Brown is out of shape, and that allows Barton through. So Barton picks up another place, picking them off one by one. Hellywell has a look down the straight. That's no way through there. And 7, he holds his position. 7 is Jack Neal. And Richard Barton closing in on the back of Hellywell's car. So Richard Lowe on his own, just keeping ahead of the rest. But it's a good old ding-dong battle between Neal, Hellywell, Barton, Brown. And these 3 are away. Hellywell gets it on 2 wheels. Barton's looking to try and pick up another place. They go down the straight. He's not far behind Hellywell now. Hellywell's hanging on. He's lost touch with Jack Neal a little bit. Brown now also pushing, see if he can get back up from his pole position. What can he do? He's lost a few places. But Richard Lowe going very nicely in the lead. Half race distance. And it gets a bit cooler. The sun goes in. Here comes Richard Lowe driving really nicely. Here comes Jack Neal. Now Richard Barton, and he is up into third. I didn't see where it happened, but Richard Barton's up there. And it looks like Holdsworth then. Holdsworth is up, pushing Hellywell into the 5th spot. So it's Lowe and Neal, Barton, Hellywell and Holdsworth. Here comes our race leader that's gone past me, Jack Neal. Closing a little bit, but I'm not sure there's enough time. But who knows with Jack Neal? When he wants to, he absolutely flies, and he's definitely closing the gap on Richard Lowe. There is 1 minute 39 to go. Jack Neal then on a mission. Richard Barton is third. Quite a bit of distance, but Jack Neal is definitely closing the gap on Richard Lowe. What can he do? Jack Neal is on his mission. Absolutely giving that car everything he can, and he's closing the gap. He's flying round. 1:17 to go. 2 from 7, from 8. Lowe Barton, sorry, from 5, Richard Barton, not 85. So down the straight, Richard Lowe, Jack Neal, he's closing. Is he going to have enough time? He's left it a bit late to put the pressure on, but he's trying his best. He is definitely closing, 1 minute to go. Jack Neal is closing with every single corner. He's making it a fight. And Richard Lowe has something to think about. There is 40 seconds to go. Jack Neal is trying his best to put some pressure. It's still a fair bit of distance, but what can Jack do? He's closer again. 30 seconds to go. Looks like it's going to be this and another lap. And he is visibly closer. They go over the rumbles. What can he do? Can he take some fantastic line over the jump section? He goes for it. He's definitely closing the gap. Is there going to be enough time? Can he get past? Richard Lowe comes down the straight now. Richard Lowe, Jack Neal. This is going to be it then. This is going to be the last lap for these guys. And Richard Barton having a nice third position. Oh, and Jack pushed as much as he could. And he's made an error. But they've still got to get round the last few corners. And Richard Lowe then has led from virtually the start. Here he comes, Richard Lowe then. He's got to get over the kicker. He does nicely, takes the win. Nicely driven, Richard, from Jack Neal.
C final.
And again, Nathan Rawls, the poleman, caught napping. Ben Smith absolutely hoons it off the start, but he gets away with it. So we've got Nathan Rawls from Ben Smith. Can't see that, he's in third, and it's Chris Lake. So, Lakey's moved up a spot, but here comes the race leader over the jump section for the first time. Into the X-ray, followed by a Schumacher. Ben Smith spams it into the tabletop, but comes unstuck over the rumbles. So Nathan Rawls then, after a very steady start, moves up and can't for Chris Lake then into the second position. And who's that in third? I can't quite see. Kit Jones. So Nathan Rawls, Chris Lake, Kit Jones, Ben Smith drop back down to fourth, and can't quite see that in fifth spot, but they all go down the straight now. Race leader's got a bit of a lead. Going quite nicely, but Chris Lake trying to close the gap, but he has got some attention from Kit Jones, and Ben Smith is under pressure from a gaggle of cars behind him. So they go over the jump section, leader's gone over it. Second place, third place, there goes fourth, Ben Smith. And they go onto the straight now. Nice and steady down the straight, but the leader's away. He's keeping a gap between himself and Chris Lake. Kit Jones just dropping back slightly. And who's that nipped up into? That's car 5. William Venables then up into the third spot, or fourth spot, sorry. So William Venables, the associated. So we've got X-Ray from Koyosho, from a Schumacher, and from an associated. Now here comes the X-Ray of Nathan Rawls, round past me. Think that Chris Lake has closed the gap slightly, but then he just catches a bit of hose, puts him on two wheels, and that allows Kit Jones to close the gap. So Chris Lake is going to be under pressure now from Kit Jones. William Venables trying desperately to close that gap as well. He's well in the mix. Ben Hughes coming through the field. So there's Ben with the Toyota car 7, goes over the jump section to down the straight. And the leader is gone. He's got a big lead relative to the rest of these cars. And Kit Jones is definitely putting pressure on Chris Lake. Chris Lake just touches the hose. How's Kit Jones just to close in even more on the rear of his car. So as they come round now onto the jump section. Boom, Chris Lake takes it. Oh, and gets in all kinds of problems off that. Bounces off the second jump. Then Kit Jones then. And William Venables gets through. So, as the sun starts to set, get lower in the sky, we have Kit Jones in second from William Venables, from Chris Lake. But the leader is away, he's gone. And we have about 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes then. Kit Jones in second. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do anything about the leader, Nathan Rawls, but it certainly might be under some pressure from William Venables, who is on a mission. He is hooning that associated car around the track. And car 5, that's William Venables, closing the gap on Kit Jones. Getting a little bit out of shape though on some of the little jumps. having to correct himself, not push too hard, but he wants to close the gap. Chris Lake dropping back a little bit in 4th. So it is Nathan Rules, car 1, from 8, from 5, from 4. Here they come, 2nd and 3rd, last race control. William Venables then, what can he do? He is closing on Kit Jones as they come round the rumble section. There's cars on their roofs. The leader gets through. Kit Jones then, William Venables, he is closing. He gets a really nice line over the jump section, really pushes onto the straight. Oh, and then gets some acceleration down the straight as Kit Jones just pulls away a little bit, but now Venables is right on the gearbox of Kit Jones. We're in less than a minute to go. Venables then, pushing hard, his associated car going nicely over the rumble. The leader's away, gone. He's already lapped Ben Smith. Here we go then. William Venables takes a run up at it, sees what he can do. Doesn't take the cleanest jump. 35 seconds to go. 35 seconds. The leader comes through for another lap. Kit Jones, William Venables. William catches him at the end of the straight, that's for sure. Can he keep a nice clean line then? Going on to the jump section. Has a look, gets another look at the inside. Tries to climb over the car, doesn't make it. He's pushing him as hard as he can. Then coming up to the jump section again, Kit Jones still has jack position. He is in the 2nd spot. They're going down the straight now. They're going to get through for another lap. 5 seconds to go. Will they get through? I think they will. 5, 4, 1, they're still going. So this is it then. Race to the line. Kit Jones. No, they finished. They didn't make it by half a...
D final.
Oh, and Poulter was waiting for the C final, I think, because he was very slow off the line. But gets away with it. And is holding the lead as they come around, so Dave Orwell put him under immense pressure already with the S-Works car. Not many of them here, and Bishop still in third, with my O'Brien, my moved up into 4th. But they go down the straight now. Poulter, plenty quick enough with that car down the straight. And he's under pressure though. Orwell is really holding some nice lines and definitely pushing Mr. Poulter as they go over the rumble section. And here comes Mr. Poulter now over the jump. There they go, nice and clean. It's very close, there's loads of cars in this. And they go down the straight now. So it's Poulter, Orwell, Bishop, O'Brien. Who else is in there? Fletcher's in there. And he's lost the lead, so who's that? Orwell's gone through. Just was counting the cars and Orwell's gone through, but he's parked it. Oh, he's got away with that. So now we've got a big old train. This is going to be close. Somebody gets out of shape. Bishop gets out of shape. As they go down the straight now then, who's got the horses? It's Orwell from Poulter. And from O'Brien now up into 3rd spot. So the change of car seems to have made the difference. Schumacher switch. And he's going very nicely in 3rd. So who's that? It's got Fletcher's up there. So very close this one. All going along very quick. Very competitive final. 1:45 gone. Orwell then in the lead. S-Works from the Schumacher of Dave Poulter. Some big air then from Fletch. And he's got himself in all kinds of problems, and that has cost him dearly. So that has allowed car number Carl Moon up into 4th spot. So Carl Moon, and here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then going down the straight. Orwell, Poulter, O'Brien, and Moon as they come past me now. Bit of a gap back to Bishop. But Orwell, he's just as I'm about to say something nice, he rolls it, but he hangs on. Got a little gyro in that car, gets it flipped over, so they go to the jump section. 4 cars then, leading their way on this final. It's very, very close, down the straight. Orwell has track position, in the lead. Dave Poulter trying desperately to close the gap, but he's got to think about Alan O'Brien and Carl Moon behind him. And Orwell gets it a little bit slow through that S's, and Poulter is catching. Oh, and Orwell gets it well wide coming round that corner. That back end is hanging on for dear life. I think his tyres might be struggling a little bit, but he's just about to get the power down he pulls away again. So, what can Poulter do? Can he hold a tight enough line to really push David Orwell? As they come round into the rumbles, these four are pulling away from the rest of the field. Tony Bishop, Poulter makes a mistake, gets back on his wheels. Alan O'Brien's trying to push him round. They go over the jump section. O'Brien goes up the inside but rolls it. And who's that? Carl Moon gets through. So it's Carl Moon second, Dave Poulter third, and O'Brien is now under pressure from Tony Bishop, who decides to flip it as well. And Dave Orwell, he's still hanging on. He's making sure he keeps it in front, keeps it rolling. And we've got 1 minute 10 to go. Here he comes, round over the jump section, takes it nicely this time, keeps it rolling nicely through them. And then catches the hose. He's round the wrong way, but he keeps it going. He's getting away with murder, but Carl Moon now, the man on the move, car number 6. He's pushing and pushing. He's flying through. And there's been an error. And Carl Moon's through. He taps him and lets him through. Okay, nicely done. So, as we were, Orwell, Moon, Poulter, these three, and there's less than a minute to go. Here we go then. This is the business end. Who's going to buckle? Down the straight, they're all ballistic, they're all flying over the kicker. Carl Moon definitely seems to have a bit more grip on the corners. It's Orwell that's hanging on a bit, the rear end looks a bit loose, and he's going, he's having a look. Orwell's tight though. He's not going to move, he's putting his car exactly where it needs to be, and there's only 10 seconds to go. Are they going to get through? He's over! Orwell's over! That's ruined it! And Carl Moon then, is he going to get through for another lap? Is Poulter going to get through? No, this is it then, to the line! Moon takes it, Poulter second!
E final.
So, Stephen Pearce had a bit of breathing space because car 2's not ready. And it's just Chanel then up into his second, gifted that, so it's 1 and 3. And looks like Chris Everson, is that? Car 4? He is, so 1, 3, 4. He's already pulled away slightly. And they hit the jump section quite nicely. And down the straight now. All very rapid. And they come past me, there's all sorts going on in the back. Not a tap-in, not a bump in the margin. But these three are close. So Stephen Pearce, and Tristan Neal gets out of shape. And that allows Chris Everson through up the inside. So Everson, Tristan has a little look on the top of the table, and he gets out of shape, tries to take too much over the humps. And that's now a 2-horse race. It is Stephen Pearce from Chris Everson. X-Ray versus PR. And who's the best of the rest? Not sure that is that Brett Birch? Wily old campaigner. No, it's not Brett Birch. Yes, it is. So, where's our leaders? Here they come.
It's not like you, he ain't got fucking flesh.
Stephen Pearson in the lead. Not sure his transponder's counting though, but we shall see how that works out. Chris Everson sitting there in second spot. Brett Birch in third. And comes round over the kicker now. So 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes. It's 1 from 4 from 8. Christian Neal dropped back now to about 5th. Martin Owen up there now. Starting to close the gap on third spot. So Stephen takes the kicker. Chris not too far behind. It's about the same distance as they were the last lap. And we're approaching half race distance. Brett Birch then down the straight. Not really closing the gap on the front two. Looks interesting for 4th and 5th between Christian Neal and Martin Owen. Martin has it at the moment, but Chris Everson then. And there's some coming together at the back. Chris Everson looks to be closing the gap. He's putting some pressure on Stephen Pearce as they go down the straight. Stephen gets it going and halfway down the straight pulls a bit of distance, and then Chris catches it. And these are very tight. A bit of a wheelie at the back. And Brett Birch is catching. So we're going to have a 3-horse race very soon indeed. Brett Birch is definitely closing the gap on the front two as they go over the jump section. They go nicely over there, onto the straight they come. Chris Everson trying desperately to find a way through past Stephen Pearce's X-ray. And Stephen is definitely having to defend a little bit from Chris Everson, making sure he's exactly on the right spot of the corner so there's no gap. So Chris Everson's definitely closer this time as they come round over the jump section onto the straight. Can he make any inroads into the lead of Stephen Pearce? No, and Brett Birch is closing the gap. He's now putting Chris Everson under some pressure. 1 minute 15 to go. It's 1 from 4 from 8. Brett Birch then driving the lossy car, closing the gap. What Chris Everson going to do? Is he going to keep pushing? Is he going to defend? As they go down the straight, they catch Everson back markers. Chris Everson dropping back slightly from Stephen. I think he's having to think about Brett Birch, who is closing. Oh, and Brett rolls it. That put paid to that, I would think. But now Chris Everson has closed the gap on Stephen Pearce, and there's not long to go. I think they're going to get through for another lap. Yes, they will. So it's going to be a race to the line. Here they come then down the straight. Stephen Pearce has led from the gun, and he's holding on. Chris Everson has a look at the back. This will be the last lap, for sure. They come round over towards the rumble section. Chris Everson desperately looking for a way through. He's close, he's tight. Is he going to go for a banzai move over the jump section? No, he's quite cautious through there. They go onto the straight. Are they going to get through? They might just get through, you know. Stephen Pearce, will he get through for another lap? It's very close. What? They could move, I don't know. Computer's froze. I think they're still going. So it's a race to the line. Stephen Pearce over the rumbles. Can he hold on? Chris Everson desperately trying to push him. So this is it. They go over the jump section now. Stephen Pearce holding his line. Doesn't want to make a single error. They go down straight. Chris Everson goes for it and does the decent thing. Great bit of courteous driving. He had to try something. Didn't quite come off. Well done, Stephen Pearce. Well done, Chris.
F final.
So Poleman makes a very steady start. Oh, Craig Mayer gets it a little bit out of shape, and there's a lot of carnage in the first couple of gaps, but Gareth Stanton then, he'll be a man on a mission. Down in the F final. Oh, gives it some over the ripples, but Alex Hayward over the jump section for the first time. Gets onto the straight. Gareth Stanton makes a mistake, parked under the hose. So here he comes then, our race leader, Alex Hayward. Goes very nicely round past me. Craig Mayer after a bit of a dodgy start, still in second, and looks like Andy Woods then in third. So here they come then, over the jump section. Very close for second, third, and fourth count 9. That is Jack Hurst. So, I think that's a loss in the lead. What about Associated, Schumacher, and TC? Or is that Associated? Not sure. So Alex Hayward over the jump section then, leads us from pole. Big air from Craig Mayer. Doesn't necessarily help him, and he goes on to the straight now. Andy Woods in very close attendance, and Jack Hurst as well. So Jack driving Associated. And these three pulling away from the, well, these four pulling away from the rest of the field, and that rest of the field is Gavin Collingwood in the fifth spot. So race leader then going on to the straight. 3 minutes 11 down. Got 3 minutes 11 to go, sorry. One comes past me. Oh, rolls it. Gets back on his wheels. From 2, from 7, from 9. And the battle is on for second, third, and fourth. Alex Hayward just sitting tantalisingly out in the lead. Craig Mayer, can he push? Has he got to defend? Gets a little bit wobbly over the the jump section. Andy Woods then, all over the back, all the leaders parked it. The leaders parked it, and down the straight, who's got the horses? Alex Hayward gets to the inside. He has the horses, and he comes around now, so this is a real battle. We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 7. Looks like Jack has dropped back slightly. So, Alex Hayward from Craig Mayer, from Andy Woods, as they go over the jump section. We've got 2:20 to go. Down onto the straight. There they go. Craig Mayer catches. Oh, and Alex rolls it. Has Craig got through? No. Alex is living dangerously. Craig decided to take matters into his own hands. I'm coming through there, and Andy Woods gets through as well. So 2 places he's lost. Alex Hayward then down to 3rd. Craig Mayer from Andy Woods or Alex Hayward as they go over the jump section. Was a bit dangerous with Alex, and he's caught the hose again. So Craig Mayer in the lead. Andy Woods desperately trying to close the gap. So it's Associated, Schumacher, Lossy. And these 3 are away and gone from the rest of the field. It looks like Gavin Collingwood. No, it's Russell Everton. Very similar body shells. So where's our leaders? There they are in the jump section. Craig Mayer. We've got just over a minute to go. Craig Mayer from Andy Woods. Alex Hayward still in there, not too far behind. Trying to put some pressure on the front too. Looks like Andy Woods is on the move now, wants to close the gap. Got Craig Mayer under intense pressure, getting really tight as they go over the ripples. Coming towards the jump section now. Over they go, bang, bang. Nicely landed by both cars as they go onto the straight, over the humps. They're all taking it well, all 3 of them. And it's all about who's going to catch them all. Craig gets very close again to the hosing. Takes off a little bit of speed, but nothing too much. Andy Woods then, pushing. What can he do? Alex Hayward then is closing as well, so this is going to be a 3-car push to the line with 34 seconds to go. Oh, and Craig's over. Andy Woods gets out of shape. Alex Hayward has it around the outside. Who's got the horses? It's Andy Woods. Here he goes then. We've got 20 seconds. Andy Woods gets out of shape, going over the jump. Alex Hayward tries to push through. Craig Mayer takes it again, so these 3 exchanging positions. All the time, it's Woods now. He is the lead car, and this is the race to the line. Woods from Mayer, from Hayward, as they go over the jump section. Who's going to take the fine line through the rumbles? Oh, Craig Mayer tries to do or die move, and that's cost him 2nd spot. Andy Woods is going to come through. He does to take the win. Hayward finishes.
G final. H final.
Duncan Risk collects the race leader. It was a very steady start for the race leader, and he's lost a couple of places, but it's not been disastrous. But who is that flying into the lead? I think Duncan Risk has got through to second, and there's all sorts of carnage. Calm it down, guys. Calm it down. Can't lose it on the first. When you're on the first lap, you can lose it, and whole man's pulled off. Doesn't fancy it anymore. So who's this then? Coming around to lead for the first time. We have car 3, so Sean McFarlane from Duncan Risk. Car 10, that is Michael Elliott, all the way from the back. Gets up into third, so it's very close then, 1 and 2. As they come round, first and second, 3 and 2, as they go over the jump section. So McFarlane from Risk as they go down the straight. Who's got the horses? McFarlane's got the horses. Look at that go. Very quick indeed. But Duncan Risk catches him at the end and is going a lot neater around the corners. Has a little look at the inside. Goes over the hump. Looks up. Goes through to the ripple section. Has a right look at the inside but can't get through there. They come round towards race control. Over the jump section they go. Risk gets it to there. Has a little look at the inside, but they go down the straight again. Who can get the good drive going down the straight? It's McFarlane. He's definitely got some extra horses. So what can Duncan do? Oh, he gets it. Too many horses. He wheelies. And car 10 is right up there. So 2 from 10 from 3. 3's dropped back. It's a bit of a ding-dong between 3 and 8. So that's McFarlane and Saunders. But Duncan Risk, he's in the lead from car 10. Car 10, Michael Elliott. Okay, can we have Richie Thorne, Charlie Ware, Ross Nicholson, Robert Hatton, Ben Smith, Tommy Hall and Josh Holdsworth, please, to race control. Where I'm standing, so Richie Thorne, Charlie Ware, Ross Nicholson, Robert Hatton, Ben Smith, Tommy Hall and Josh Holdsworth. So where are we then? We have still Duncan Risk in the lead by the looks of it. He's pulled out a little. He's just about got the jump section gap between himself and car 10, which is Michael Elliott. Thomas Hatton, car 7. So, just have a bit of water. Duncan Risk then, from Michael Elliott as they go over the jump section. There's not much in it, and it is car 7 still. That is Thomas Hatton. He's in third, but he's a bit of distance as we go around the kicker. Ground race control, Duncan Risk, nice and tight, round past me. They go through the S's onto the ripple. And Michael Elliott trying desperately to find a way through. There's just that little bit of a gap. He's not really closing it, and Risk is not really pulling away, but they go down onto the straight now. What can they do? We've got 2 minutes to go, just under. Over the kicker, nice and clean from Duncan. Not much air, and then down he goes over the slope, down slope, gets the acceleration, pulls a bit of a gap, comes over the ripples now. And it's still much the same. Duncan has a little tap at the corner. They go over the jump section. Duncan from Michael, car 2, from car 10, from car 7. Oh, 7 gets it nice. Gets it all out of the shape as he goes over the jump section. But here they come. And looks like 10 has closed the gap. He has. He's getting closer to Duncan. Duncan's getting a bit nervous. Michael's having a look at the inside, taps the rear end. Duncan really comes to a grinding halt, mind you. But he's trying his best not to leave the gap. And we have 1 minute to go. 1 minute. Ross Nicholson, Robert Hatton, we need you at race control. Ross Nicholson, Robert Hatton. And risk from Elliot. And we have about 20 seconds to go, sorry, 40 seconds to go. And here they come then, very close now. Car 10 is right on the back of car 2. Car 2 gets a little bit out of shape. They go over the tabletop, they're coming onto the straight. It's been like this for most of the race. And there's only a few seconds to go. They're going to get through for another lap. So this is going to be it. One more lap to go. 10 gets right tight, just catches the hose slightly, but this is it. Duncan Risk goes very slowly. He's not leaving any gap at all. He is just making sure his car is in exactly the right place. And we're coming through now for finishing time, so this is going to be it. There's the tabletop to go. 10 has a look at the inside to go over the jump. He has a look at the inside again. Who's got the horses down the straight? Car 10's got the horses. Can he get over the kicker? Oh, it's very close. Oh, Risk missed it. And 10 takes it. Michael.
I final.
So, looks like a relatively clean start. There's a couple on their route, and 7 stuck. 7's definitely stuck.
Get in the bushes!
Way back, but what have we got here? Big Lions, Coleman from car 2, which is Tyler Little, as they go over the jump section. Coming onto the straight for the first time. Oh, second place is Parker, so that's let him through. Let's have a look, can't see what that is. That's quick, whatever that car is, that purple thing. That's car 5, so car 5, Duncan Paul. But it's still Pete Lyons then in the lead, moving the PR car. So Yoko Mo in second. Associated in second. And it looks like Tyler Little in third. So Pete Lyons then down the straight for the third time. Second place, flips the corner, spins round. That allows car 2 through. Tyler Little. Duncan Pop just dropped back slightly. Going to be under pressure from Jason Green, I think. That's car 9. And the leader is away. There's a bit of a breathing space. So Pete Lyons. Then down the straight. Takes it nice and steady into the bottom corner. Comes round. A reasonable gap from car 2. Tyler Little. And then it's Duncan Pole. So 1, 2 and 5. Car 9 is in close attendance as well in 4th spot. Pete Lyons now comes round over the jump section. Takes that quite nicely. So the second man, 5 and 9, quite close. So reasonably spread first 2 cars, and then 3 and third and 4th having a bit of a ding dong. Pete Lyons just touches the corner, gets away with it. Second place man gets a little bit loose on the rear. It's quite close for 3rd, 4th and 5th. One little error's going to cost a few places, I think. And we've got 3 minutes to go. All Pete Lyons is out of shape over the jump section. That allows Tyler Little just to close the gap slightly as they go down the straight. Pete Lyons cautiously into that bottom corner. Tyler Little is closing. He's putting the pressure on. Still car 5 is in 3rd. So Duncan Pole. But 1st and 2nd. Getting closer and closer. Tyler Little closing the gap, putting some pressure on Pete Lyons. Duncan Pole not too far behind, and then there's a good old battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. Bit of a train for it, but 1st and 2nd here they come round. Oh, and 2nd just bumps off the hose, keeps going. And the first 3 cars have pulled away slightly. There's not a lot in it, and there's 2 minutes to go. So, Pete Lyons in the lead from pole. Oh, and he's gone down the hole, the worst place to be for the marshals. Very quick this time, but that allows Duncan Pole up into 2nd. So Pete Lyons has some breathing space now, because Tyler Little was closing the gap, but now it's dropped back to 3rd. So it's Pete Lyons, Duncan Polk, Tyler Little. That's your first three with 1 minute 30 to go. Race leader comes around the jump section again for the 7th time. Duncan Polk then, Tyler Little, and looks like car 9 of Jason Green putting some pressure on the 3rd place man. So 2nd, 3rd and 4th not too far behind each other. Pete Lyons then doing what he has to do, leading from the front, keeping it rocking, keeping it tidy. Just over a minute to go. 1 from 5, from 2, and it looks like 2 was over. 2 was over in the lesson, and that allows car 9, Jason Green, up to but Jason has been over the jump section. So who's that that's crept through into 3rd spot? Is that Matthew Keane?
Yeah.
I'll see very shortly. And there's all sorts happening. What's happening? So here comes 2nd, and it's car 6. And that's Matthew Keane up into 3rd. So Pete Lyons from Duncan Polk, from Matthew Keane. And it's getting very close now. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. They're all in the train following as they go over the jump section. And we've got about 20 seconds to go. Will they get through for the next lap? I think they will. Pete Lyons is through as they come round now. So here comes 2nd, here comes 3rd. And they pulled away a little bit from 4th. So the race is on then for 2nd and 3rd. It's Duncan Polk from Tyler Little. It's a race to the line now. The race leader is over the jump section. He's just got around a few corners and he'll take the win. But 5 from 2 as they go over the jump section now. They hit the tabletop. Do you want to look at the inside? They're very close as they go on the straight. It's all about the horses as they go down the straight. And car 5 has the horses, but hasn't he? He's gone deep. They go over the kicker and they go down the line. Oh! And that was close. And we're up and running. Oh! Gets through. Bit of
GF final.
drive in there. Gets car 3. And car 3 is Luke Mills. So Luke Mills takes the lead from Nick Child. And Stuart Hurley, I think, dropped back down to 3rd. But then Mr. Child makes an error. And he gets back through. So who's going to lead us through for the first lap? Down the straight now comes Luke Mills, car number 3, over the kicker, round past me, and 1 and 2 are 2nd and 3rd, and car 4, after a little bump on the first lap, is still in 4th, so that's Sean Berryman. So our race leader now over the jump section, takes that quite nicely. 1 and 2 go over it as well. Oh, Nick gets a little bit out of shape, hitting the tabletop part. Oh, and then he rolls car 1 as he goes onto the straight, but still maintains 2nd place. And these two are having a right old ding dong. And car 4 is also in there now. So these 3, 1, 2, and 4, nothing in it as they go down the little S section coming to the ripples. And the leader though, he is away already and coming onto the straight. So that is Luke Mills. Has a nice lead over car 1, which is Stuart Hurley from Nick Child, and then from Sean Berryman. And here they come past me now. So looks like these 3 are going to have a good old race. Oh, and Nick goes over though as I say that, and then the marshal just captured him with his toe. Car 4, and they're piling up behind. So 3rd through to about 8, they're all in a little train, but 1 and 2 have got a big gap now. So car 3's in the lead. There he goes past me. Car 1 is 2nd, and he's got a big lead over 3rd place, which is car 4. So 2nd comes past me. There comes 4th. He's certainly going to keep those corners tight. Oh, quick roll. That's impressive. Don't know how he's managed to do that. But there he goes then. So he's got a train of cars behind him for 3rd, 5th, 4th. They're all having a little ding dong. But the race leader then comes round. He is away and gone by miles. So Luke Mills making up for a poor qualifying perhaps, and he's already lapping people, so he's flying round. So that's the Yokomo, I think, of Luke Mills, followed by car 1, which is Stuart Hurley, and Stuart Hurley comes over the ripples now, back towards the rostrum, over the jump section. There he goes, and the race leader's coming past me now, so he's nearly got half a lap lead over 2nd place. Oh, and the leader's over. Sorry, 2nd place is over. So now that's car 4, Sean Berryman. He is up into 2nd place, so this is the race then. So 2nd place. We're waiting for car 4. There he goes. Car 10 now is up into third. So car 10. Steve Robertson all the way from the back up to third. And a racy third as well because he's closing the gap on second. And who's that in as car 8? Matthew Peters. So the guys from the back really pushing in this final. 10 and 8 at third and fourth. And they're going down the straight now. Second's gone to the end of the straight. The leader's gone. But this is the race then for second, third and fourth. So 4, 10 and 8 as they go over the left section. Coming onto the ripples. There's a back marker in between. Car 8 has a look at the inside of 10. Car 9 don't affect the leaders, and he's not. No, he's definitely not now. 4 and 8 gets a little bit bouncy over the jump section. And that gives a bit of breathing space for car 10, but they go down the straight now. It's all about the horses, and car 10's got loads of it. Gives it to Welly, pulls away. Oh, and then has a little bit of a coming together. Does the decent thing. Be careful, 8. Very racy move, but they were, but that's allowed second place to pull away. So that's not helped them. Meanwhile, the race leader is already lapping up to about 5th spot. So he is absolutely flying. So Luke Mills, don't know what you do in this final. Obviously not had the best of days, but he's making it for it now. So we're into the last closing seconds of the race. Second goes through, third goes through, fourth goes through. No, they finish 4 as 8 and 10 are finished.
Kia final.
Oh, there's a big wheelie off the line. But anyway, so he's done cartwheels. That was the third place. There's all sorts of people rolling around. There's some bumping and barging. Come on, you can't win it on the first lap, but you can lose it. Now let's see as they come round. Looks like the pole man is there, second, and then car 4 is third. So RT up to third, and it's Ben Kirkham then leading us round for the first time. Comes around over the kicker. Quick first, third, and then our 4th place man. And RT's going to look up the inside, goes a bit wide. He's all over the back of car 2. And they're pulling out. There's another car, so there's a 4-car train, and that's pulled away from the rest of the field. But definitely, car 4's looking all over the back of car 2 as they go over the jump section. Oh, and it couldn't be any worse. Literally behind you, by the flower pot. Oh, he's the winner of the racing crash. So Ben Kirkham then from Dan Bradshaw. And Alex is going to drop right back after losing over the tabletop. And that is all calf now. So, 1 minute down, still plenty of time. And there's cars going up all over the place. Keep it smooth, keep it steady. So there we go, the race leader down the straight. Taking it nice and steady. Car number 1, then from the front. Car 2 then, from 7. So full car. Trying to close the back on our second place man. And car 4 is trying to make up the difference as well from a costly error over the tabletop. So it's 1, 2, 7, 2 gets it in all kinds of problems but lands back on his wheels, but Paul Carr gets through and then crashes into the barrier, and then 2 of them pick each other up. So there's still going to be all sorts to play for. There's only 2 minutes on, and the places are changing constantly. And 7 comes through, and he's still got third place from 5. So 5 is Thomas Hodgkinson. So it's 1, 2, 7, 5, 3 and 4 is your running order. Leader goes down the straight now. And second place not too far behind. They're all coming up to the back mark with car 6. You've got the leader's gone past you. Second place is over, so that allows full car through. He's rolling it. Car 5 then. And it's still going to be close. There's still half race distance to go. And it's close enough to the line of places. So there's the leader. Ben Kirkham, he gets it wrong over the jump section, but gets away with it. Archie still is in now on the charge, so after a disastrous lap, he's moving right up the field, and it's going to be up, down the straight he goes. So, second, comes past you now. Third gets out straight. Oh, they get the tangle. It's very bashy for third, fourth and fifth. he comes round, goes over the jump section. So Ben Kirkham from full calf it is. I think it's Sam Bradshaw. No, it is Mark Revel from Archer Sillis. So Archie's moved up, making up for some lost time. So there goes the leader, and definitely full calf is closing the gap slightly. Ben Kirkham. And who's that? Sam Bradshaw, Archie Sillis then. Second and third, and Archie gets up into third. So he's moving through the field nicely after a big error early on. And he's not far behind second either. They go down the straight now. So here's the leader with just over a minute to go. Ben Kirkham from full calf. Then it will be Archie Sillis as he comes round over the kicker. And then not too far behind that is Sam Bradshaw. So the leaders go over the jump section. Oh, sorry, don't go over the ripple. And Paul Calf is right on the gearbox of Ben Kirkham. They go over the jump section now. Paul Calf flies through, tries to make the gap. And they're going down the straight now, nearly side by side. Paul Calf goes on the inside, pushes Ben wide as they go through the kicker. But Ben comes out on top as the inside line to the next corner. And they go round the back straight into the S's, over the ripples. And the second place man touches him. He gives the place back. Nice bit of courteous driving after touching him. And then it is 30 seconds to go. Archer Sillis is still in third. Trying to close the gap. Might run out of time, but if they do have a coming together, they're going to get through for another lap by the looks of it. So here comes the leader. Ben from four. No, they finished. That's it. They just finished. So Ben Kirkham takes it. From full calf and then Archie Sillis.
L final.
There's already carnage for the first few corners. Just left set down, up in the margin. Here's Rob Peck. So Rob Peck goes over the jump section for the first time. Got himself a bit of a gap already as he goes onto the straight.
Come on, son.
It is cut from Shannon. So let's help from Colin Ennis. And where's our Coleman? Coleman's got back to about 6. But it is still Rob Peck. Here's the lead. The Yokomo. And there he goes over the tabletop. Holds onto the straight.
Oh, he's making the length.
And we're a minute down. So fast race control, there he goes, race leader, there goes second place. And third place is now Ford. Ford will swings over, gets back round the right way. So we're on the straight out. Okay. Coming round. The wood from Lee Martin. And still 3 seconds, so there's help. And then Amy Lyons making his way back up the field, so he's down 4. What can he do about the front through? Second place, captain the herd. So this is going to be a battle for second, third, and fourth. Fifth, by the looks of it. Some youngsters driving the PR car, so there's 8 Lions, Charlie Saunders, Rob Peck comes round again, and the 3 goes wide off the kicker. Car 5, and the race, Old Man is catching them, so it's definitely going to be a good race. The leader's over, and he's back on his wheels. So 3, 5, and 1, and the second, third, and jump section quite nicely, and our race leader is making it difficult. mark of car 8, you've got the leaders. So car 8, that's the leader. That's an interesting way of getting out of the way. Yep. So that's the first place. And 5 is definitely catching, I think. So Will Ford is definitely catching the leader. Rob Bennett. Oh, the leader's over. So here we go then. Oh, he's got some horses in that. Gee, got 2 motors. There he is. So Will nearly got through. So 2 from 5. From 3. This is getting close now. They go over the jump section. They'll get a little twitchy. Make sure they land it. Oh, he goes on the inside. Lovely move around. Look, you know, he's not going to let it go. He was not going to let it go. He blasted down the straight. That was a great move from Will, but he didn't get in the lead by the end of the straight. And these 2 are going to have a right old ding dong by the looks of it. So 2 and 3. Oh, he goes on the inside again. Oh, and then Rob Bennett tries his best for the party. Will Ford then, coming round. Looks like a PR car. All in light blue. Oh, Rob Bennett decided to take a different line over that. Drops him right back now. So, Will Ford then has the lead as they come round with 30 seconds to go. About 25 seconds to go. And there's a big gap now. Car 3 is now in second. Let's help from a Zion. So what's happened to Rob Bennett? Is he gone? Over here, busted his head. He's busted his head. Here we go then. Where's our leader? Here he comes then.